both gone before the ambulance arrived on the scene. The consensus in Jefferson, Texas, has always been that everyone, knows what they are doing and who they are doing it with, and they read the weekly paper to see who got caught. We knew Thomas, the deputy, and the way that tears ran down his eyes, I wondered if maybe he was my father. But even in my immediate and overwhelming grief, I knew that couldn't be true. The whole town would have known, and that bit of gossip was too juicy not to spread like a Texas wildfire. Of all the things other kids had when I was a little girl, the thing that I envied the most was that they had a father. Some of them even had two, a real daddy and a stepfather. It didn't seem fair to me that they got two and I didn't have even one. Eventually, I realized that having a mother like I did made up for no father. Maybe that's why I was in denial so long after she was killed. I had lost both mother and father that evening when Thomas brought the news to us. 6 weeks later, I was still in denial and refusing to take the next step, as Ashley called it, in the grieving process. "Tomorrow morning, we are going through Mama's things and putting the house on the market," Ashley said. "No," I wailed, and tears began to roll down my cheeks. "We can't touch a thing in our childhood home. That holds all our memories." "Our memories are in our hearts." Ashley hugged me until I got the weeping under control. And Mama wouldn't want a shrine. She would want us to move on and live our lives. All this sadness robs us of happiness. "I can't do it," I declared. "You'll have to take care of it, sister. I can't get rid of her things, and I can't move on." "Yes, you can." Ashley took me by the shoulders and looked right into my eyes. "And you will." "Can we just wait another month?" I begged. "No, we are doing it tomorrow." She didn't leave any room for argument, so the next morning at 8 o'clock, we met at Mama's house. My shoes felt like they were filled with concrete, making my feet so heavy as I walked from the car to the porch. We had lived in this house my whole life, and most of Ashley's. How could we just treat it like any other place on the listing at our real estate office? "Here's what I've got in mind," Ashley said. "We are going to go through her personal things and take what we want. If there's anything, furniture-wise, that either of us wants to keep, we'll mark it. And when the women's shelter people come to take it all away, they'll leave those pieces." "Women's shelter?" I frowned. "I made the decision to give what we don't want to the shelter in Tyler. Mama was all for empowering women, so I think she would like that idea." Ashley handed me a roll of masking tape. "Put a strip on anything you want and sign your name. Be sure it's visible." "I want to keep it all," I told her. "Can't we just rent a storage unit and—" She didn't give me time to finish, but butted in. "And let it all get gnawed by rats and ruined by heat and cold? Mama would want it to go to a good cause. We'll start in her bedroom. I'll go through the dresser drawers, and you can clean out the closet. Do you want to keep her bed?" She took me by the hand as if I were still 8 years old and led me down the short hallway to the bedroom. I couldn't remember how many nights I'd gotten in bed with Mama when I was a little girl. I was terrified of storms, and never, not once, had Mama scolded me. "Let me go in peace." Mama's voice was so clear in my head that I turned around to see if she was in the room with me. "I love you, Jess, but you've got to let me go." "I don't want the bed," I muttered. "Okay, then." Ashley swiped away a tear. "Anything that you can't bear to part with out of the closet, just throw on the bed. I'm sure the women's shelter will be glad to take any of her clothing or shoes that we don't want to keep. I want the dress she wore to my wedding, so put it to one side." By mid-morning, the closet was empty. I had kept the tears at bay until I found the T-shirt she had worn when we made the trip to Florida almost 20 years ago. I would decide later what to do with it, but I had to keep it. I started on the shelves of shoes next. Mama had even smaller feet than Ashley, and I wear a size 9, so neither of us sisters wanted to keep any of those. I set them all on the other side of the bed for the women's shelter. I was taking them down 3 boxes at a time, and on the last trip, the top one tumbled off.